Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason Harris.
Gregory Nagel.
And we're back for our second show of December. Probably going to be a little bit of a holiday theme going on. I've got one holiday beer anyway.
Not for me.
Nope.
But we were not going to record today, but we decided to do it at the last minute.
We had a show, then we didn't have a show, then we did have a show, and then I had to scramble to find beer.
Yeah, so usually we start at noon, but today we're starting around 3 because Jason had to get beer and we weren't going to record originally. But now we are here, so... I'm going to kick things off with my first beer. I have a German Pilsner here. This is from Abnormal. This is called 3DPO.
3DPO.
Abnormal is out of San Diego area. Yeah, San Diego proper.
That's from the porn parody.
That's what I was just going to say. Is that a porn reference or Star Wars?
That's funny. I didn't even
Oh,
think
wow.
about that.
See, oh, wow. 3DPO.
Strong one.
Oh god. And let's see. I'm starting out with not beer, but sort of beer adjacent. It's called Whiteout by 10 Barrel Brewing Company.
Nice.
Which is no longer owned by AB InBev. They're their own company. They're their own people.
No,
and this is
were
like
they part
a
of the
it's a Manhattan or not a Manhattan.
White
What is
Russian?
it? White Russian. Sorry.
Yeah. Were they part of that sell-off that happened? Didn't AB sell off like 6 or 7 breweries? And I think 10 Barrel was one of them.
I don't remember. I think 10 Barrel was looking to get out of that partnership and they bought themselves out, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they were part of that thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. But I do know that they're technically craft beer again. So I don't know. It feels kind of dirty though. Like it's even like Ballast Point, they're craft again. But I still, not that I have anything against them, but I don't buy their stuff all that often.
No, wait,
Barrel,
man. I
never
respect the hell out of the game. The Ballast Point guys, like, they
True.
sold Ballast Point for a billy, held back their spirits company, which then they sold for another like 200 milli.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they're just
Smartest
like,
dudes
and
ever.
then the brewery ends up getting independent again. They're just like, we just siphoned fucking $1.5 billion out of corporate America. So fuck them.
Yeah, I'll give them props for that. That's definitely, and especially when they said they sold for $1 billion, it was just like
With a B.
I could not believe that. It's just
Sculpey.
an obscene amount of money.
Imagine if you're the Goose Island guys. You're just like, oh,
Right?
Should have
Oh
waited.
my
Dude,
God.
I was at Universal Studios last night and I bought a Sculpin and it was, oh man, I was like, this is such a not even good on today's IPA terms, but
Oh,
it was
really?
like good for Universal Studios.
It's fine
It was fine.
It's better than I drink it over Lagunitas IPA.
Yeah, I would drink it over Lagunitas as well. Lagunitas is probably, of the available IPA out here, my last ditch beer.
Yeah,
IPA to go to.
and the most common.
Right. And it's good. It's just I don't dig the flavor profile on it. It's got like a sharpness to it that doesn't really vibe with me, but it's not bad. It's just that's the only thing on the shelf, it's like, yeah, I guess I'll get that if I want IPA.
So for me, I didn't have time to go to the beer store. I was at the Winco when I was like, shit, I got to get beers for recording. So you've heard of Guy's Grocery Games. This is Jason's Grocery Games. It's
Drocery?
Yeah, it's got to have the alliteration. It's Jason's Grocery James.
Oh, get it.
You got a Cali Squeeze?
Okay.
And these are the beers that I could get at Winco. A lot of them are like the beers you could get at a gas station. So for starters, I've got a Cali Squeeze in Blood Orange.
Actually, I like that beer.
In a big old Tolly 24-ounce can. That's going to be a theme today.
Okay.
And yeah, here we go.
So
there you go.
Jason's
How's
doing
your
the Winco show?
Are you 3 deep?
What's that?
3 deep, yo. What's the name of the beer again? 3 deep.
It's 3DPO. Yeah.
3 DPO.
See? 3DPO.
Okay.
I don't
That's
know
abnormal.
what the DPO means. I didn't read the back of the can. I mean, obviously it's a 3CP or C3PO reference, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the 3DPO thing.
I mean, if you're on IPAs, then you're feeling pretty good. But whether you're on a porn set or just drinking IPAs,
Well, this is actually a Pilsner, so not an IPA. German Pils.
Wow.
Speaking of which, it's very good. Abnormal. I haven't had them a whole lot until I moved down to Menifee because, like I said it many times on the show. I'm closer to San Diego, so a lot of the beers that are at the local store that we go to are from San Diego, and it's awesome. Like, and there's new breweries popping up. It seems like every month on the shelf that I've never heard of. Like I have one today that I'm gonna be opening later from a brewery I've just never heard of. They don't that particular brewery. They didn't date the cans, so they had an IPA from them, but I didn't buy it because I still don't know how long it's been there. Maybe I just missed it, but I ended up getting something else. I think it was a Pils that I'm getting opening from them. But there's just like new breweries opening all the time in San Diego. It's like one closes and two more open up. It's crazy.
So this Cali Squeezin' tastes like I feel like the guy from Hangar 24 that used to market orange wheat is just like stomping on his hat like Yosemite Sam, like it's a wheat beer with orange. It's pretty good. It's
yeah, it's sort of like it's like a hef, right? Like
yeah,
or is it more? It's less Bavarian, probably American yeast.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's Firestone Walker's yeast.
It's more in your Widmer variety, right?
Yeah, Firestone Walker's house yeast is like a British ale yeast, right?
But this would be a perfect put it in a cooler beer. People who aren't super into beer would enjoy it. But it is beer flavored enough. It's not like overly sweet. It's not like it's a decent enough drinking beer.
Firestone.
What's cool about that?
Bought that brand, right?
I don't know. It is. I think it's just their brand. I don't know if they bought it.
No, they bought it. It was from Slow Brewing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't buy Slow Brewing. They just were like,
brand.
this Cali Creamin' thing seems to be picking up. Can we just take that off your hands or whatever? Cali Squeezed, yeah.
Cali Creamin's
That's a Mother Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
And they just bought the brand, which is actually not something I can think of happening elsewhere, where somebody's just like, "Hey, we're gonna buy Nugget Nectar off you."
Nugget Nectar. A couple of years ago at one of the Firestone Walker Invitationals, I was doing a brewery tour at Firestone Walker, and they were actually making the blood orange, and the entire brewery just smelled like blood orange. It was so like oh wow, what are you guys making?
Did
they picked one off the. No, it's like a big tote of puree.
Oh, okay.
Just dump it in, man.
But it's not that stuff that a lot of breweries use with a.
No, it has a really good flavor. It smells really aromatic. It's not really fake.
I think it's more breweries use purees than use like just the flavoring. Like, I would guess the majority of breweries are buying a ready-made like processed product, but not that process. It's not like extract for flavoring. Like I think most breweries are getting a pre-bought from a supplier already, macerated, put into liquid.
Right.
Like I think it's unusual that breweries are sitting there fucking peeling pomelos or whatever all fucking day.
Yeah, I didn't mean actual grapefruit where they got to pull the rind off. And I was just wondering if it was the concentrate stuff or the extract or whatever it is.
And any of our beer brewery friends could let us know, but I feel like puree is more common than just using like flavor extracts unless you're a really shitty brewery.
Is that orange still around from Hangar 24?
I assume so.
I haven't seen it in years.
I don't know.
It's not in like if you're even in Redlands, like I go visit my mom and like right down the street from the brewery is a Stater Brothers, and you can't even find it there.
Oh, really?
They just have Betty IPA and,
occasionally, yeah,
and that's about it.
Betty is still around. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If I would guess what their flagship beer is, it's that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hangar, not really relevant anymore.
So yeah, this Pils from Abnormal. It's tasty. It's what you would expect from a really good San Diego brewery. I think everything I've had from Abnormal has been delicious. So no complaints here. But I've been buying the hell out of it. This is probably like the fourth time I've bought a 4-pack of this beer. It's really good.
Oh, good. I don't really see Abnormal. All my beer shops, I think Windsor doesn't carry it, so it's like he's my go-to dude.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see abnormal up in Orange County unless you're driving down to San Diego.
Would you say
Fortunately,
it's abnormal to see them?
it is
in Orange
very
County?
abnormal. Yeah.
Hey, LMAO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So canned cocktails, man. I've yet to find a good one, and this is no different. So
And they're not cheap enough to make it worth.
right.
Like you're like, oh well, maybe I'll just get this for convenience, and you're like, it's $6 for a can of Paloma, and it's fucking mid as hell.
Right. And I mean, so this is done with oat milk. So instead of cream, so standard White Russians, coffee liqueur, vodka, and like whole cream or like heavy whipping cream or something like that. And this is kind of like it's with oat milk, and you can smell the oat milk. You know, it's very oaty, and like the coffee should be the dominant flavor, but it's way more creamy than coffee.
Aroma.
Yeah, the aroma,
Plus,
like
inherently, you're already getting a thinner drink. Like as someone who usually makes White Russians with milk because I don't generally have cream on hand.
it does have mouthfeel because of the oats. So it's a little bit thicker on the tongue than you would imagine, but it ends up being more like God, it does the coffee. It's like a coffee cake almost. That's what the flavor profile is like. And it's like you said, Jason, a canned cocktail with 3 ingredients is really easy to make on your own. And everybody has a bottle of vodka laying around, and go buy some Kahlua, throw some cream in there. It's a really easy cocktail to make.
I actually had
buying a $10 version, or I don't know what this cost. It was sent to me, but I don't know. I'd probably pass on it unless you're vegan and you want to do some oat milk version. You're going to a party, yeah.
But then you probably also have oat milk.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man.
They went with oat milk because it's more shelf
stable,
and where with milk it's it's
it might curdle over time.
2 weeks.
It's just coincidence that it's oat milk. Like it's vegan on accident.
Yeah,
basically.
Because if it was me doing that drink, I'd use pea milk. Pea milk is actually way more viscous than oat milk. Like oat milk is almost watery compared to anything. I think it's probably the most watery of all the milks.
Like with an EE or an EA?
Yeah, I'll give you some pea milk, John.
PEA, pea milk, not pee milk.
I know what you meant. But I mean, so it's cool.
Cost wise, though, I'm sure the pea milk is significantly more than oat, and oat milk is basically just water and oats. That's your milk. So
yeah,
water and oats.
I guess I should have maybe actually bought like an actual 10-barrel thing. Maybe we should do a 10-barrel show now that they've sort of broken out.
We could.
Out into the world.
I don't think I've ever had a beer from 10 Barrel.
They win. They win a lot of JBF and the World Beer Cup and stuff. They're quality brewers. We know they can make good beers, and it's good to have them back in our repertoire if we can find them here.
I do think
Petco Park was that
even before they were
the big brewery at Petco Park.
Yeah, they had a brew pub in San Diego for a hot minute, and I don't think it's there anymore.
I feel like even before they got bought, they were kind of old-fashioned as a brewery. Like they were already I felt like they made historic stuff, but they didn't have anything that was really super modern and relevant. Like even at the time when AB bought them. But
I think they had a couple IPAs.
I mean, I guess kind of like Deschutes, shots fired, but I've always put them in that same zone. Where it's just
they're not, they're just kind of boring, and they just
old school and old classic styles, and they're a staple, but they're not doing anything exceptional, I guess.
I should have mentioned that this is 13.9% alcohol. That's not bad for a can.
Well, mine are mostly lower alcohol, but all the cans are double the size. So.
It evens out.
Yeah, number 2, the 805 Cerveza, because here's the thing when you're shopping in the gas station tall can section, everything's 9% now.
Yeah, totally. All the voodoos.
Voodoos, you got Dogfish 100 or Dogfish 90 minute in tallies at 9%. You've got I've actually, spoiler alert, Lagunitas Maximus in a tall can at 9%. I got that one coming up.
What?
You've got double Mind Haze. You've got Atomic Torpedo, which is 9%. Everybody's got a 24-ounce can that's 9%, and you get 2 for $6. at the gas station.
I'm waiting for them to be wrapped in like a 3-pack with plastic, like shrink wrap plastic.
Right?
That's the next
It's not
step.
a bad idea.
Because, and it's not a bad idea because a lot of people, you know, after work, they go in, they buy a 3-pack of whatever 19-ounce cans of Bud Light, and that's, you know, their beers for the night.
I think the idea is instead of your 3-pack of Budweiser, you're getting your one tall can, your 2 different tall cans of craft beer that are higher alcohol.
True. Yeah.
And you
That's a cheap buzz, my friend.
You can mix and match.
So 805 Cerveza is like a wholly unremarkable Mexican lager. I actually kind of wish this wasn't around back when we did our Mexican lager showdown, was it?
No,
I don't think
it's a newer product.
That one also has lime in it, right? I believe it has lime.
Technically, I think it's got lime and brewed with lime.
Even if it was around, I wouldn't put it in the showdown simply because it has lime in it, and because
it's going to stand out.
Yeah, well,
I think we did have one. The Land Shark.
We did have one
lager
that had lime.
Oh,
no,
did
Land Shark
Shark
didn't
lager?
have lime. It was I got it up now. Oh, maybe not. None of these look like Thorn Brewing had one. That might have had lime.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was good.
The lineup for the 4 Brewers Mexican Beer Showdown, which was
El Sully
coming up on 7 years ago, was Dos Equis, Tecate, Victoria, Cerveza El Sully, Corona, an Iron Fire beer, which RIP, I think they're gone, right?
No, they're still around. They just
Are
closed
they?
one of their.
They closed their tasting room. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Thorn Brewing in San Diego.
I believe
Modelo.
Thorn is gone.
Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
Huh. Land Shark, which you can't find that shit anymore, and Jimmy Buffett's gone now. So
no, I take that back. No, they're not gone.
Because that beer is like brewed for Margaritaville.
Thorn
is it really?
Still around.
Mexican lager.
The beer is wasting away somewhere.
Pacifico, Carta Blanca, Estrella Jalisco, and the Sublime Ale, which I think they've stopped doing. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
And
the Carta Blanca is the roughest.
El Sully.
El Sully won. I'm almost certain of it. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. I forgot that they won.
I remember being surprised because I was never super impressed by 21st Amendment, but we all love that one.
That was good.
I like 21A, and they're good people, good owners.
Yeah, so I'm going with Jason's theme, and I knew I had a lot of heavy hitters today, so I'm just going good old PBR. It was in our camper fridge, and I was like, I don't want to go to the store, and there's a PBR on there, and I haven't had a PBR in probably a year and a half or so, so it's always good to check in on your old, pub beers that you.
It's good that it's good that the or it's weird that PBR has become the one like socially acceptable cheap beer.
I know.
Like you can bring it to a party and everyone's like, well, at least it's PBR, not Bud Light.
I'm surprised by this.
We should do a cheap beer show.
Head is really sticking around quite a ways.
You guys, I had a Kolsch service at this bar. Actually, I want to shout this fucking bar out. Silver Stamp in downtown Las Vegas.
I saw that bar. That looks amazing.
It is in a pretty bad neighborhood.
It's an arts district.
It's just downtown. I don't know.
Is it near the Stratosphere?
It's pretty close to Atomic Liquors.
Okay, that's the arts district.
So, but it is like I got there and I was like, when did this place open? Because it looks like it opened in 2008, and they're like 2 years ago. And it's like our generation of craft beer nerd designed the perfect craft beer bar and then did it. Like, dude, I ordered a lambic and they served it in a lambic basket. They like did the whole explanation of the lambic basket.
Beautiful.
Like, why you use it.
Let's go, man.
I got Kolsch service, like the full like 11 7-ounce.
Krantz.
Yeah. I got Underberg in a tiny little Underberg glass.
What?
And they had like a incredibly awesome, well curated list. Like it was just like European staples, like aged stuff, like
man, I'm
good
going
modern
next time.
beer. Oh, it was like if you're in Vegas, this is like craft beer mecca. This place fucking ruled, and they're not paying me this shit. Like I just went there. It was like this place fucking rules.
I'm glad you noted that because I had my suspicions, Jason.
No, I paid
Jason
$10
from the
boy.
Four Brewers podcast.
No, I paid them. I gave them a bunch of money. However, if anybody goes there, they have like a bunch of stickers on the wall in their bathroom, and I noted that none of ours were up there, and I didn't have any on me. So if you guys go, just put one in the bathroom.
The silver stamp. All right, man.
Yeah,
Little downtown area has so many like little breweries and cocktail bars and stuff like that. So we love going down there.
It looks like the kind of place you want to go to, like at night, or when the sun's not out. It has that feel. I was looking at photos of this place, and
no, here's the thing: you want to go there when the sun
looks...
is out because it feels like it's nighttime. The door's open right there.
Oh, really? So when the door's shut, it's just gonna be dark.
Yeah, it feels like it's 9 p.m. in 1986 all the time in there.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah,
this place looks awesome. I used to live in Vegas. I haven't been there for I mean,
dude, you got to go see the Punk Rock Museum.
Check out that Yelp. 4.9, 91 reviews.
Area 15.
Area 15 was amazing. I went to Meow Wolf.
That's fucking rad. Yeah.
Whipped ass. Meow Wolf Omega Mart. Amazing.
Yeah, I haven't been.
So do you guys ever equate Pabst with head retention? Because I just poured this thing like 3 minutes ago. It's still got like a finger head on it.
Compared to your typical domestic, I think PBR and High Life hold on to a head for a long time. High Life does it by being extra fizzy though. It looks like that scene in Beer Fest where the guy's drowning in the beer tank, so then he just starts trying to drink his way out.
Yeah. Having too much fun over here.
So I
beer should be fun. What do you got?
Brought this beer up earlier. Brewery I've never heard of. This is a brewery called West Brew. They're from San Diego. They're from Vista, which is San Diego. This is their West Brew Pills, and this is an interesting beer. It's really clean and really good. I had one last night, and there's no it's just barley and hops, whatever. It's made with Nelson, Amarillo, and Tettnang hops, but it has like a lime edge to it, and they even noted on the can. I just read it right now. I didn't read it before I drank it last night, but they said hints of lime, and that's exactly what I got in this, like to the point where I thought they added lime to it. So whatever they're doing with that combination of hops is really working well. It's interesting. Super clean pills. I mean, it's got a little tiny bit of cloudiness to it, but compared to the 3 DPO, it's about the same. Yeah, really good beer. And again, they had an IPA on the shelf, but they don't date their cans. So I didn't want to risk buying, a year-old IPA, because there are some IPAs on the shelf at the store I go to that are pretty old. So, but this was a good pull.
Dude, on the topic of old IPA, there's been a bit of a crisis in my area, which is that all the Swamis on the shelves for the last 2 months have been pretty old.
Dude, Yvonne. So Yvonne,
not all of them, but a lot of the stores are running some old ass Swamis. But I think in the last couple of weeks, reps came through and swapped them out because they're getting fresh again.
I experienced the same thing. Yvonne rarely buys me beer when she goes to the store. But the last time she went to the store, she bought me a 6-pack of Swamis and then some athletic beers, some non-alcoholic beers. And God, the Swamis was from August. And I look at the bottom of the can, I'm like, what the fuck? And I told her before, because she bought an NA beer for me that was a year old. It had been on the shelf for a year. And I'm like, well, it's NA beer. It's a lager. It's probably going to be okay. But if it's a year, check the date. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So she checked the Swamis, and she's like, you said within 4 months. And I said that for a lager. And I'm like,
a 4-month Swamis will be okay.
It was not okay.
Yeah.
It was oxidized.
They turn a corner. A lot of these grocery stores have them maybe in the back.
That's what I'm thinking, because I never see anything over maybe 2.5 months old for Swamis, and I buy a lot of Swamis. It's always within 2 months, if not a month. And this one being from August, that was just an anomaly, and she happened to pick it up. But yeah, it wasn't good. Swamis can go bad.
Well, speaking of old cans, we've had too many American beers on this show. We need
Foster's, baby. I know
No,
that
you didn't
big
get
tin top.
Foster's. Oh my god.
not just Foster's, but the green Fosters.
What's the green Foster's?
Foster's Premium. I think it's
the
Foster's
premium Pilsner
bitter
or something. Is it?
No,
Is it
because if I
lager or
remember
no?
right, this one pours brown, but I think it's ale with caramel color. By the way, that's why it
What?
pours.
Why?
Because it's cheaper.
Why?
I don't know. There's no purity with Foster's. Like literally everybody in Australia hates it.
Why would you do like if it's just coloring and it has
Just
no
add some
impact on
malt.
the beer? Like what the fuck? Why?
I mean,
Just
I
for
can't argue.
presentation
These guys
value?
have been selling a lot of beer for decades. So I got this fucking big old can.
Yeah, with your lighting, it just looks. I mean, you can tell it's darker than a normal lager, but
Yeah, it's clear as fuck though.
That's actually it's a little darker than on the camera than it looks in real life, but otherwise pretty close.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. Why would you just color a beer? I don't get that.
Save money on malt.
Yeah, but why? You're spending money on coloring. Like
Because this one's got to be different than the blue one.
I guess. It's stupid. I don't know.
You have a
Maybe
blue
it's
can and a green can. They can't look the same when you pour them
There's
out.
got to be some kind of story behind it as to why they.
I don't know, man.
did that.
It tastes like an incredibly mild amber lager.
Okay, so it does taste like an amber lager, or are you just getting amber lager vibes because it looks like an amber?
No,
lager?
it's got a little bit of that, a little bit of sweet, like caramel malt character to it, like a little bit. But like the bare minimum you could have to where you could recognize it as not being a regular lager.
So what it sounds like is they used enough caramel malt to give it a hint of amberiness, but it wasn't dark enough to make it look like an amber ale. So they added coloring, so the color matches what you're supposed to get from the flavor profile.
That seems like the story that I'm putting together here.
Okay, because something had to be. If it's just like here's a lager, but it's brown. Well, I don't want that. That doesn't make
Makes
sense.
no sense. Oh man, I'm tripping out for Paps, dude. I don't know if you ever noticed, but Paps has really fine bubbles, and I really like that. It looks really nice. Unfortunately,
go ahead.
It doesn't taste that great.
it has been sitting in your hot RV or whatever, but
no, it's in the fridge. The fridge has been on, so it's been refrigerated. But Paps always reminds me of like when you open up a fresh bag of toilet paper. Like there's that smell of like toilet products, like toilet paper, like unused toilet paper. It's kind of papery, but like in a toilet paper way. There's like a corn. There's the corn in there is really off-putting. As you know,
toilet paper.
I'm gonna be real. Like the Pabst Renaissance, it's not my favorite.
I don't know. It's not that great.
As the cheap beer corner guy, PBR is fine. I guess it's probably not my top 10.
It's not for
the
smelling.
Category. It did win GABF every year for like a decade. I remember. But
I mean, who's pouring a Pabst in a glass anyways? But I will say that's probably its most redeeming quality is it looks really good. Drinking out of a can, you just you don't really smell all of the Cornish toilet paper.
That's a punk rock show beer for me. Like if I'm going to see a show, it's usually PBR that's on there.
It's fine.
Now
priced IPA.
Now every venue's owned by Live Nation, and they all have the same bar menu, and PBR is not. Oh wait, no, PBR tends to be on it.
Yeah.
And then you can add a shot of something terrible like Fireball or but like if you're trying to be cost efficient because you're already paying $25 for that beer and a shot,
dude, no joke.
It's only $4 to add the shot on, so you might as well because the beer is already going to be 20.
Again, when I saw Newfound Glory they were at Petco Park. They weren't at Petco, but there's like a stage outside of the ballpark. It was like $25 for an IPA. It was unreal. Like, and I didn't even pay attention to the price until I got, I had to pay, and I got that and a drink for Yvonne. It was like $40. It's crazy.
That's me yesterday at Universal. 3 beers for 36 or yeah, I don't know. The Hogwarts thing was cool. I got like some random red ale at the Hogwarts thing, and it was like $17 for a beer, something like that.
Hagrid's red potion or whatever.
I don't know. And it was fine. Yeah, I mean,
I needed
a beer.
You've been trying to bring red ale back for a while, so
it's never coming back, man. People are making them, and I'll buy them.
I was talking to somebody just randomly at work or something, and they're just like, I really like red ales. I'm like, yeah, there's a guy in my beer world that's been trying to bring it back.
Yeah,
red ales. And then every brewery's really like, literally nobody buys this shit.
Yeah, Yvonne.
I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, it just depends on where you're at. Like Rip Beer Company up in Huntington Beach makes some of the finest IPAs in the world, but they always have this red ale on. It's called Crimson Killa or something like that, and it's like one of their top 3 beers. Just depends on where you're at.
Huh.
Dude, the other day I was at Total Wine and I saw a guy buy a 24 pack of Kona Big Wave.
Oh,
and he wasn't like 80 years old. He looked like he was like in his 30s. I was like, this guy just loves Kona Big Wave. Huh.
Kona, baby.
That sounds right. I mean, it sounds like just a dude trying to buy some beer. Maybe he's going to a party or something and he's bringing something fancy.
Maybe it was just,
Kona.
You just picked. I'd be like, I would rather you have either saved some money and just bought hams or like spent some money and bought something better.
Montucky Cold Snack is the one that I had it when Jason and Sarah came over for Thanksgiving. That's my go-to cheap beer right now.
There's a little
Hamburger has that.
There's an off flavor in that one for me that I don't love.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
same.
Huh.
It has like
cooked veggies.
Yeah, there's something about Montucky Cold Snack. It has to be really cold, and like people say that about like fucking Coors and shit. No, I've had a warm Coors; it's fine. But like a Montucky Cold Snack has to be like ice cold, otherwise it tastes a little funky.
Yeah, Coors warm.
I'm not
is sort of apple juicy. It's got the big acetaldehyde bite to it, but it's still fine.
What's your preferred cheap beer that's like not
Keystone?
Yeah. As he takes a sip of Keystone.
Keystone Light, baby. Jason got me on that, and whenever I see it, I buy it because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Julian says Modelo.
Drinking water.
Yeah.
Modelo.
If I'm going to like a party or something, I generally don't want to bring Keystone because people think it's trash. So Hams is a good one there. Any retro brand, the retro brands always kind of go over because people are like, oh wow, isn't that cool? Like if I'm at a shitty gas station, I'll just get PBR or Coors Heavy if I'm going to like a party.
Greg, what's that brewery that just opened up? It's a legacy
Pfeiffer's
brand?
Famous, baby.
How's that? Are they like open or?
Yeah, they're open.
Are they doing any distribution?
Yeah, in the Midwest, so Michigan area, they're distributing the Pfeiffer's Famous brand, just that one beer, and then locally here they got Tyler King and a few other dudes making weird beers like IPAs and cold IPAs and double IPAs and hazies and stuff.
Brewing here and shipping it to the Midwest for distribution?
No, so they're brewing here for their tasting room, and then they're paying somebody. I think it's New Realm is making their Pfeiffer's Famous brand and distributing out there.
Wow.
New Realm, Mitch Steele's place, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
I figured they'd hire some like generic just contract brewery, but no, that's
they
awesome.
went for quality. And I tried some of their beers because they make it back here, and they're like $12 for a 6-pack. I think it's not bad.
What's Tyler doing?
It looks like
just doing like a back end stuff, or is he doing a little?
He's
brewing?
like he's sort of like getting the recipes together and stuff like that. I saw that they did like a holiday fruitcake Belgian quad. I was like, that's a Tyler King beer right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Good to see him back on the brew deck making some shit.
I remember in New Beer Thursday, he invited us to do a collaboration beer on their pilot system, which was basically like what I have in my garage, 3 15-gallon kettles. Mm-hmm. And it was me, Matt, and Steve. And they wanted to do like a Belgian version of Black Tuesday or something. I don't know. And we ended up doing like a Belgian beer, but the special ingredient was honey, some kind of special honey that Matt liked. And we went there, we brewed it, and he had a little conical that he put in the corner of the brewery. This is before the tasting room was there. It was just that little iron they had.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, we're like, "How's that beer doing, Tyler?" He's like, "Oh, I needed the conical, so I dumped it." We're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Okay. So we technically did a collaboration beer with the brewery. It just No one
Just
ever
went
tried
down
it.
the drain.
He literally was like, "Who gives a shit?"
It's such a
That
good
was his
collab.
attitude, and that's so Tyler. Yeah, it's just like, thanks, asshole.
That's
I like Tyler
brilliant.
though; he's a good guy.
He could have
he's
fucking
cool.
like.
It's good to see him
sugar-coated it
again.
for you. And, I don't know.
Him and his wife.
He's like,
they're
yeah,
having
I was
a kid.
infected or said a lie or something. Yeah, it just didn't really ferment out and it was kind of gross or something. We had to dump it.
Instead,
No,
he was just like,
needed
"Oh
it."
no, fuck that beer."
Yeah,
I was gonna serve that
I'm
shit.
almost positive that was the only piece. He's like, yeah, I needed the conical for something, and I had to dump it out. Well, okay. I'm assuming it probably wasn't that great. It was kind of a boring beer, and he just didn't tell us that. So,
You cocksucker.
oh my God, Greg!
I got me some secret Swamis.
We're over here fucking slapping our fucking veins, being
God
like,
damn
"I
it.
need me some secret Swamis, Greg." And he's just like, "Sorry, I drank it all."
You can't even.
I have 3
melt a
cans left.
can.
Come on over.
A can.
You have 3 cans. You have 3 cans left.
I bought 2 6-packs. My wife bought 2 6-packs for me.
We've been like, "Can you meal us back as much of this as possible?" And you're like, "If you guys
No.
both come, you can share 1 can between you." You piece of shit.
It's a good beer too.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
Savoring it, man.
your wife was there last weekend, and you've already got through fucking 9 of them.
Yeah, it's accurate. Accurate. I mean, you drink, I'll have a couple a day. Couple of secret Swamis a day.
Keeps the
I should have
doctor-
I
keeps
should
the
have
doctor
planned it
here.
out. I should have planned it out like 12 days to Christmas, but no, I would,
On the 5th day of Christmas, a
Secret
can of
Swamis.
secret Swamis.
Swamis.
Just 12 times.
And it's so good that I drank 2.
Dude, no, you should just every day. That would be the plan. You just do an Instagram story every day. That was just like, on the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. And then do like a big dramatic thing, like you're going to do something else. And then be like, no, it's still fucking the
A
same.
nice cold can of secret Swamis.
So secret Swamis, that's basically a double dry hopped version of Swamis. Is that right?
It's different hops too. It tastes nothing like it's the same ABV as Swamis, which I think is cool. So I think it's
So it
probably the
says on
same malt
Untappd,
base. And
the traditional Swami's hop profile of North American hops is elevated with the addition of New Zealand-grown Cascade and Nelson, both in the boil
Okay.
and dry hop, which bring bright notes of grapefruit and gooseberry. Pilsner malt from California and Germany helps balance out the hop bitterness, and the use of our house yeast La Cruda accentuates the malt character and the aroma. Cool.
Did I not do secret Swamis on the show like this time last year?
No, you didn't. I'm almost positive you didn't. I
Hmm.
mean, you could check the website. It would be on the website. So
yeah, I don't really get. I mean, there's some citrus. The citrus I get on it is honestly more like a orange creamsicle, but not like a gross sweet version. It's like it's definitely an orange citrusy, like a tangerine creamsicle. Note and a little bit weight.
That's not Swamis at all.
It doesn't taste anything like Swami. Like
That's
if you
crazy.
put Swamis, I should have done a side by side, but obviously Swamis is really old school and
Yeah.
but doesn't really burst with like modern hop character, and this is like all modern hops.
You know, I'm gonna make a potentially shameful admission here. I don't know what hops are in Swamis.
It doesn't
I
really
can
matter.
look.
Do they say?
It's probably. I mean, is it like Centennial, Cascade? I'm
All
just
right,
guessing.
keep going. This is like
Columbus,
Family Feud,
maybe.
Greg.
Columbus.
Oh wait, no, ding.
All
Okay,
right, so
Columbus definitely.
Swamis.
Amarillo.
Uh,
see here.
No, Simcoe. Probably not.
ding,
Okay, Simcoe, Centennial,
ding.
and fuck. There's probably like some role playing hops in there.
It doesn't say
What's
on the
the
can.
No, the last one. You've got all but one, and the last one is.
is it
ever so
arrogant
slightly?
bastardy?
No, think ever so slightly more modern than all the other hops.
Okay, so Citra maybe.
Bing,
Citra.
bing, bing, bing,
Yeah,
that's what I was about
I
to
would
say.
see. Yeah,
There you go, man. That was some Family Feud shit. You just ran the board.
got it. I mean, what's funny is when you drink a Swami's, you don't get any of those. Like, I don't really consider that beer as like, it's sort of like an amalgamation of all those hops. There's not like one hop that stands out. Like Swami's is just so classic. It doesn't really have like a big hop character that you're like, wow, this is really piney or really tropical or really.
It's just like down the middle, you know.
Right? Yeah, it kind of
like a
checks all
hoppy,
the boxes.
clean, easy drinking.
Depends on how
IPA.
old it is and how it
And
comes off.
so Secret Swami's is it is double dry hopped and it has lager yeast.
Okay.
And
A
which
cold
I
IPA.
don't remember if that was the same the last time they did it. I feel like they maybe added the lager yeast this time. But then it's Cascade, Centennial, Citra, Simcoe, Chinook. So pretty much we're all the same there. And then Motika and Nelson. So it probably has Motika and Nelson. It's dry hop.
Yeah, I mean the gooseberry
So maybe they
thing
take the
is
same base
maybe
beer.
when you say Nelson in there, I can get that as like the creamsicle part of it. I think it's really well done. I mean, I wish they would just make this year round and just call it like do a Secret Swami's for every season with different hops or something like
That's
that.
kind of what their seasonals are, anyways. They're all
I
just
know, right?
called Vacation Friends or fucking I
Yeah.
don't know, Wacky Beach Dude or like some surfer guys are annoying sometimes. Like I don't know.
How much was a 6-pack? Because
$15.
Oh wow! So basically a little.
Yeah, we got
maybe
two
a buck or
for
two
$30
more.
even. Yeah, I would go back and get more.
Because I thought maybe it's due to the New Zealand hops, maybe it's cost prohibitive to brew it year round. But
Maybe
Like-
they can't get enough of those hops to brew it year
True.
round.
yeah, true.
Like if I was you, like, is it worth driving all the way to San Clemente or a pizza port in San Diego? I'd say yeah, it's pretty damn good. If you're a Swami's fan like I am, if you drink the fuck out of
I
Swami's,
wonder if
And
it's still
here's the thing:
available.
I want an excuse to go to Carlsbad, anyways. It
This
is,
thing.
John. They don't just blow out of this shit in a week. It'll be there for like a month. I
Maybe we
figure
should
I'll
go
get
there.
some
Yeah,
the
it's
week
really
after New
fucking
Year's when
good.
I'm off work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm off the week between Christmas and New Year's, and you're off the week after New Year's.
same.
Jason?
I'll meet you guys down for some.
Yeah, the
beers
week
somewhere.
after New Year's.
But Greg, you're the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I'm off the 26th to 29th.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
right.
best week to be at work because you literally
I know,
everybody
do
else is
nothing.
off, so you don't do anything.
Not in my industry. Everyone wants that week off, but I have clout because I've been in my trade for 25 years, so I get the week off.
Yeah, get it, man.
Yeah, maybe
10
I'll
out of
make a
10.
trip down there. Last time we went to Carlsbad, we went to, Oceanside, not Carlsbad. We went to Bagby. We were down there for a show. Bagby's dope too, but
A great handcuff if you're going to Pizza Port Carlsbad. Isn't Mason in the area too?
They used to be.
not sure. I
Not
don't know
anymore.
What's going on with Mason?
No. Oh yeah.
Now it's Heritage Barbecue runs that spot. It's now Heritage Beer in Oceanside.
So I'm drinking a hazy little thing. It's pretty good. We've reviewed
It's
it on the
pretty
show
good.
before. It's I would say a shockingly competent hazy IPA for how widely available it is.
I mean, it's one of their best-selling beers, right?
It manages to toe the line of being a Sierra Nevada beer and also being a hazy IPA in a way that I think appeals to both fans,
Mhm.
which is probably why it's so popular.
I think it's probably I think Hazy Little Thing's probably the best mass-produced hazy IPA on the market.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
agree.
anything touches it. Mind Haze is okay, but a pretty distant second place.
Yeah, I think so. And normally I wouldn't put Sierra on the top of any IPA competition most of the time.
What I
But
love about
Hazy
Mind
Little
Haze
Thing,
and
they-
Hazy Little
they
Thing,
nailed it.
Sorry to interrupt you. What I like about Mind Haze and Hazy Little Thing is they kind of they reverse engineered a hazy IPA and made it with ingredients that they have on the ready. Like they don't
Whole
use a
cone,
special
baby.
yeast. They use, I think, Mind Haze is like a Belgian yeast or something. And it's
Are those
it's,
Bavarian or maybe?
yeah, something. I don't know. It's a wheat ale yeast. But it's not like a hype IPA, hazy IPA with how it was back in the day where you had to have this ultra special yeast and these crazy hop varieties.
I mean,
and
I do think it really matters if you're trying to do the hazy IPAs that really got popular in the early wave. The yeast mattered, and I think the
Sure.
downfall of a lot of breweries was they're like, I don't need all that shit. I'll just brew it with what I got.
And they like I said, Sierra Nevada and Firestone Walker, they kind of did the same thing, but they pulled it off well because they know how to make beer and design beers. Whereas your local hole in the wall brewery, I'm just going to use whatever, and I just won't dump the yeast, and that's when you get like a glass full of turbidity, basically, and it's just garbage beer. So.
I do think there was a few years where just the old guard of beer just fundamentally didn't understand the appeal of the style. They didn't understand why people liked it. They didn't understand what made it anything. I mean, again, how long did the fucking they just put flour in to make it cloudy thing stay as a
2 years of
legend? That. It was like, God damn, you guys, like, just drink one that's good. They're like, no, I never tried one.
And then it went to, we got to brew one. Otherwise, we're going out of business.
Right. Sierra is coy about, they have a section on their website where it's like, what malts, what hops. Malts, Munich malt, apparently only Munich malt.
Oh, all right. That's
hops,
kind of weird.
Citra, Eldorado, Magnum, Mosaic. Yeast, ale.
So Munich malt is known for being especially like toasty, and not blonde. I mean, there is like maybe a Munich that's not overly toasted, overly malted. You know what I'm saying?
Munich.
A lower Levibond.
I mean, overall, it's a very inoffensive hazy IPA, and I think my wife has problems with hazy IPA where they make her stomach upset.
Same.
And I bet you this one would. Just something tells me.
Do you think that's a yeast issue?
Maybe. No, I think it's hot burn for me.
Oh, really?
That could be part of it too.
Yeah, the too much like hop particulate, like really, like I just get heartburn from it.
Yeah, I've said this before. I do not buy hazies a lot these days. The last one I bought was on accident, so it's good. But
Oops.
I just
bought the hazy again.
Oops, it's all hazy. My next beer is not a hazy IPA. This is a beer from Kern River.
River, yeehaw.
In my book,
Church?
their IPA has, I don't know. It has a bad reputation.
It goes up and down.
Yeah.
It can be really good sometimes, but like they used to be Alpine levels of sought after in the old beer nerd day.
Yeah.
And hell yeah. In the old guard day, right? And then they got really big and they put out a lot of pretty shitty beer. And then I've had stuff since then that like was really, really good. I've had stuff since then that was pretty bad. They really go up and down in quality, unfortunately.
So this is not an IPA. This is their Bad Santa Doppelbock. Because I wasn't going to risk it with an IPA.
I'd be shocked if they fucked up a Doppelbock.
Wow.
They did not.
I'm jealous.
It's actually.
I'm all excited to get a Doppelbock. Can't find
Mm.
anybody that makes one these days.
Bro, they had a I'm almost certain they had a Doppelbock on it, that fucking silver stamp.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
They had classic styles, dude.
The nose on this thing, great. It's like a kind of like a roasty caramel, almost like a little bit of a maple syrup kind of vibe going on the nose.
Nice.
Really, really good. It poured with kind of a flat head. I had to, agitate the glass to get that head to show up. So that was kind of concerning, but no, it's because I thought it would be like kind of on the flat side or the thin side, but it's not. It's got a great mouthfeel. Not too thick, not too rich.
What's the ABV?
This is a 9.2% alcohol by volume.
Oh yeah.
So you cannot taste the alcohol. You can't smell the alcohol. This is a very well-made beer. I figured I couldn't go wrong with a malt-forward beer from them. Like I said, that's why I brought up the problematic hoppy beers, because they're kind of hit or miss these days with their hoppy beers. But even as a home brewer, you can't really fuck up a malt-forward beer. Like if you brew a brown ale, unless you are totally not paying attention to your your cleanliness process during fermentation, you can't really fuck up a brown ale. It's malt forward beers are the easiest beers to brew. So, and they knocked it out of the park with this. This is a very good beer.
Cool.
Memories of me and friend of the show, Dr. Zach, going to a Citra release, staying in Kernville, and then being at the brewery watching the Don't Drink Beer dude and his whole crew get 86 for being too drunk.
That's crazy.
Also, I went there previous years with Steven and Zach, and Steven got 86 for being too drunk.
Yeah,
Well, at least they're on point as far as kicking people out that are too drunk.
Yeah, they're over the bullshit. They're
crazy
like,
how
man,
big.
there's 8 people in this fucking town, and we're tired of your shit.
It's crazy how big Don't Drink Beer got too. Like,
yeah, he's
like
a talented dude.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. Like,
he's really funny.
I admire the hell out of him.
He manages to distill like the elements of the culture into such funny shit, and like obviously going through struggles right now, which like wish nothing but the best for him. It's fucked up that a guy that young has to deal with that shit, but the guy's so fucking good. He's so funny.
I mean, he's a fucking troll, a beer troll basically. That's really funny, and he's also a fucking lawyer. I think, like,
he's
just
like an attorney.
It's and I think I heard an interview with him, and he said that he got into beer in college and stuff, and when he got serious with his job, he kind of let it go, but then he brought it back just to have like a fun hobby or whatever, and I don't know. Sucks that he got cancer. That really sucks. Apparently he's on the road to recovery, and he had stage 4.
Yeah, God, man.
Like, I think
that's awesome, man. I know he has a kid. He has a kid and shit, so that sucks to hear.
Yeah,
2 kids, like, a baby.
Yeah,
I think he just had a kid. So
yep.
Well, I hope he recovers, if for purely selfish reasons, because I love his commentary on the beer world. I think he really nails kind of skewering the beer world in a way that only somebody who loves it could. So,
do you guys ever listen to his Malt Couture podcast?
Yeah, not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
It's a little too like
just take a shit on him.
It's a little too loud. No, the show's energy is a little too like trolly for me.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we get a little annoying and trolly sometimes, but that's a little too far down the spectrum for me. But it's just not to my taste. It's not that it's a bad show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just cracked a Stone Joko Vesa. I got that sent to me by the Stones.
Me and Greg talked about this beer before we started broadcasting live. What are your thoughts on it, Greg? Because I was kind of blown away.
Let me give it another shot here because so I had a can a couple weeks ago or a week ago, and I was like, it's okay. As like a third beer, like to finish the night out. And then the other night I had one as a first beer, and I was taken aback by how unpleasant it was. I don't know if my tastes have changed, but it's very it's
for
very,
anyone
like, it's a lot
uninclined. It's supposed to be kind of like a Mexican hot chocolate
chocolate beer,
so
yeah.
It's like hot chocolate with cinnamon, maybe they always throw a lot of pepper in there, even though it's not traditional. But
yeah. So it's got like this. It's got what I don't like about it is for the same reason I don't like pumpkin ales. It's got too much like spices and shit in it.
It is a bit over the top. I will agree with you.
There's a lot of stuff. Even like, it's not my style of beer, but I can appreciate a beer even if I don't care for it. But I think it's sort of a jumbled mess as far as like bitterness, being a little too excessive for how sweet it is on the same time. Like it hits you with sweet spices and then bitterness, and it's like alcohol. And I don't know. It's just not my favorite thing.
So have you liked beer historically?
I remember it. I remember it being more on the stouty side and less on the baking spice side of things. But the spices in it are just like, I mean, you guys have had pumpkin ales. So like pumpkin ales have like way too much spice to them.
You can go too far.
And they're like, Yeah, and this feels like it went overboard just a little bit. I don't know if that's my taste changing.
Like
but
when it comes to pumpkin beers, my favorite is Dogfish Head Pumpkin Ale because
Mhm.
it's actually made with pumpkins, but it's got a little bit of spice in there, but it's not over the top. It's really just a clean drinking, tasty, festive beer. For me, Jogoveso was always a beer that was on the same level as like Anchor's Our Special Ale that came out.
yeah.
It was a beer that I would look forward to getting every year. I love the beer, and I don't know if you guys remember. This was actually a recipe that was a home brewer won a competition for a stone homebrewing competition, and then it was like a pro-am kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think you told me your wife Greg, she had it and she just did not like.
She couldn't
it.
finish it either.
Did she like
she
it
dumped
before? Like had she had?
Yeah,
it
yeah.
before?
This was. I know. She's like, "Oh, you got Zuccovac. Let me take a can camping." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Help yourself." And she's like, "Yeah, I just couldn't get through it." And we passed it around, and everybody's like, "Ooh."
I'm just like, why? It's because I assume
here's
this. Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, the issue is that all of the components hit your palate at once, and there's no complexity to it. It's just like bitter spice, alcohol, boom, and then you're kind of left with just like all the acrid sort of spicy notes, and all the bitterness sort of lingers.
We just continue to see like a stone that is a little bit unmoored and like just doesn't feel like they have a direction. Like it's almost like there's like a marketing person is designing how the beers taste and then they're like making it to that rather. I don't know, who knows, right? But like
exactly. Well, that's why I brought up Erin, Greg's wife. I don't understand.
This is the target audience.
I don't understand.
Like, she's the target audience for this beer because she'd love this, and she loves Mexican hot chocolate. I know she's had this beer in the past and has fallen in love with it.
Yeah, it's always been a banger.
It's not that great.
Fuck.
See, I don't. But I wonder if they changed the recipe due to expenses or like why would you fuck this up? Like you have a beer, it's good, just stick with it.
Maybe it's cheaper some way. Maybe making the flavor profile a certain way they think will market better. Like
the spices sort of cling to your teeth a little bit and give you like teeth sweaters.
I mean, yeah, teeth sweaters.
Yeah, teeth sweaters. That's my term for like when you have something and like you feel like you have to brush your teeth after to get it off. Like you can feel it. Like rub your lips across your teeth, and it's like teeth sweaters.
So this beer is made with coffee, pasilla peppers, vanilla, cinnamon. I'm assuming that's pasilla. It says pasilla, but I'm assuming
the cinnamon's way over the top.
Peppers, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and chocolate. So it could be maybe something.
The cinnamon and nutmeg are just way too much.
It could. Yeah, I mean, I guess those things, depending on who they source their ingredients from, those can change in their potency. Because cinnamon, like I think it's Vietnamese cinnamon is
it's a different cinnamon character.
Other cinnamons,
it's sort of gritty.
Maybe that's a. I mean,
it leaves I'm not gonna in your mouth.
I'm not gonna assume they fucked it up by changing the recipe, but maybe it's just it didn't go well.
I mean, I stand by that. Wrong, and it feels like a trend with modern stone.
Well, that's
where all their beers, all their storied beers, have gotten worse. And all of their new beers are just bland and mediocre. And like, I know it's like a focus group designing this shit. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I stand by that. Like, a good crafted beer of this style should hit your palate in different sections and have the complexity. Like, oh, now I'm getting the vanilla, or it finishes with the vanilla, or it's got like, oh, I can sense the aromatics of the coffee and the peppers and stuff like that all on the nose, which I do, but then they all just hit your palate all at once, and it's just like blam, it's too overwhelming, and then the bitterness just sort of is the only thing left on your palate, which is not very pleasant. It's just like bitter and grit. It's not very good. I don't like it. Couldn't get through it.
So I got one more.
Okay.
And it is the Lagunitas Maximus.
Oh dear God!
And they lean in. Look, they got like a fucking a statue of the dog with his little fucking
colossal.
fucking
It's a,
head leaves or whatever. You know, like he's fucking Julius Caesar or whatever. It's very Roman. There you go. It says
so
Robusticus flavoricus, 9% alcohol by volume. It is a colossal IPA. It says people mumble, but mumble's got like the V's instead of U's because it's
Yeah.
old Latin.
yeah, there you go.
I really want Lagunitas to rebrand.
No doubt.
Their whole like weed vibe is just I don't know. I don't know.
The head has been hanging on. I poured this guy a while ago, and it's been kind of a nice foamy head. Been lingering on there in clumps, which is kind of fun. We're talking about head this show a lot.
Yeah, right. We should
DPO.
state that Lagunitas is 100% Heineken these days, right?
Yep.
It tastes like double Lagunitas IPA.
Okay.
The flavor profile is very much that. It's very old school. It's very like you need the caramel malt to balance out the bitterness of the hops.
Yeah,
that is this beer. And
yeah.
I think this recipe dates to that era, actually. Like the Maximus beer has been around since I got into craft beer for sure.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the 1,000 IBU beers and how high can you go with the IBU kind of thing. Like
it's
Bitter
Simcoe Mosaic Columbus Cascade Centennial.
That's super
It's
old
fine.
School. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, we just read that on Swami's, right? But like Swami's does it a lot better. It's not a bad beer as a gas station tall can goes, but I really feel like this is like I want to get more drunk for less money, and I want something a little bit more than malt liquor.
Yeah.
Not quite that. I think that denigrates it a little bit too much at that point. But like it feels like this would have been a really good IPA in 2005.
And it probably hasn't changed since then.
No, and it's the same recipe. Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like these old school IPA beers, they're still brewing them, I guess, because they're still selling, but I don't buy them. And I think I have a good palate for beer, and I just, who's buying this?
Like overall, how many, like if you were to put this on Untapped, how many crowns or whatever would you give it?
Like a 325.
I mean, anything over 3 is considered good.
It's not bad. I'll finish it probably like eventually. I'm gonna have to slowly work through these warming cans through the rest of the night.
Right. It's the joy of the podcaster. That's don't show them how the sausage is made, man. That's
yeah. I've got 3 glasses here with every beer that I'm just kind of slowly working through to finish the cans. So
in a lot of shows, I'll just handle them because like I'm a madman, but like I can't do that with.
It's a Sunday.
6 24-ounce cans on a Sunday night.
Yeah,
you can
take next week off.
I mean,
week off, in addition to next week too. Whenever Christmas comes around, I get super lazy and don't want to do shit.
Yeah,
that's the world.
I have to do a lot this week at work. So
simply having wonderful Christmas time.
It's such a lazy song, man.
I hate that song so much.
They're simply having a Christmas
I
time.
was somewhere and I heard that song, and like that song, the first notes of it come out, and it's like Jaws. It's like
I saw Jaws yesterday.
And you're like, oh fuck me. And you're
I saw
like,
Jaws
oh,
twice.
No.
Yeah, Universal Studios tour.
Oh yeah, that Jaws rules. Did you get the one that was hanging too, like the hanging Jaws?
No. We did it in the morning, and then we did it at night too, because it's totally different.
Is that the tram ride?
Yeah, the studio tour is the best part of the whole fucking place. Yeah,
it's fucking rad. Yeah,
but I was at a random place, a store or whatever, and I was hearing that song, but I was like, no, it doesn't sound right. It's like kind of slightly different, and someone fucking covered it. Some random dickhead made a cover of that piece of shit song in like 2005.
That's right.
And then I looked up the guy, and they're like, this singer that you've never heard of is known from being on Kids Incorporated. I was like, what the fuck? What confluence of events led to that this guy that used to be on Kids Incorporated in the 80s is now doing a dog shit cover of Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time in the 2000s that now came up in the 2020s. But I bet you it's in England. There's one thing that I can say about England and Christmas music is like in America, we stopped liking new Christmas music in 1960. And only new Christmas song we allow is the Mariah Carey one. And that's because that just sounds like a 50s song.
Yeah,
but in England, they fucking love new Christmas songs. Like every year, they're like, "Oh, Top of the Pops, we got a new Christmas song from your favorite blokes," and it's like,
"Damn straight."
Speaking of that, this week, Kate McKinnon was on SNL, and this was probably the best SNL I've seen in like 3 years. Really fucking good. And then Billie Eilish was also on. She sang her.
She fucking killed it, right?
I haven't seen the Barbie movie, but she sang the.
It's on.
Song
First off, Barbie movie is really
let me
good.
finish my thought. And then she did. I think she did "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Yeah, killed it too.
Amazing, so good. And
I was like, somebody got lessons.
The show's over at this point. We're just bullshit now. But the fact, like, she plays on stage with her brother Phineas, and I love it when they finish a song. He looks at her and he just claps, like he's like, "Good job!" Like it
was good.
It melts my heart when I see that because he's just as talented, if not more, than Billie Eilish.
He's the brains behind the operation song. For sure.
But yeah, it's like he knows. I wouldn't be here without my sister, and
you should see Barbie. It's on HBO Max.
It just came out. Yeah, I know.
So just watch it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yvonne saw it, and I mean, I don't like musical type movies.
It's not really musical. It's funny. It's really funny. It's really heartfelt. It's really good. And it's not a musical. There's not songs.
I thought there was.
No.
Oh
my god!
I'll watch it. I have nothing. I mean,
there's the Billie Eilish song plays over the credits.
Okay.
But it's a credit song.
I haven't seen Barbie yet.
It's good. You should see it.
I went to the Mario World yesterday. And,
how was that?
That was pretty cool. Just walking around. No, but I know it's such a dumb shit, dude. The ride is the worst ride I've ever been on. It's the dumbest ride.
Oh, there's a ride there?
There's a Mario Kart ride.
Because from what I saw, like you get like a wristband and you can like hit the question blocks.
You have to buy the wristband. You have to buy the wristband, and if you don't buy the wristband, you can't power up.
Well, that's the whole point. You're supposed to like buy
dude, and then it's also pay to win on the ride too, because if you have the wristband, you get like unlimited ammo.
Oh,
it's the dumbest shit, dude.
It's very Nintendo.
Yeah,
dude,
totally.
You guys, Meow Wolf Omega Mart was the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah. Did you get high before you went?
Yeah. And like the first hour, I was like, okay, other people clearly are on a mission here. Like they are going around accomplishing tasks and they're excited to do so. There is some sort of quest line that is happening within this fucking art exhibit that I thought I was just going to a cool selfie room. And
a cool what?
Like a cool like selfie. Like there's a lot of things that you can go to now where it's basically just like an excuse to have a bunch of cool.
That's exactly what Super Mario World is.
Right. Okay.
And I thought it was going to be that, but it was actually like there's like storylines and shit that you can follow. They're like phones that you can pick up, and there's a directory near the phones. And if you call the different numbers, like different people tell you different things, and there's like stuff you can follow. Yeah. You can open drawers, and there's like it's like papers that are made out of like vinyl or something, but it looks like old paper, and they're like just stories about different characters that exist in this different world. And there are also like a bunch of really cool art rooms, and there's like you can crawl between some of the rooms, and there's like secret doors. At one point I opened a locker, and inside the locker was a door handle, so I turned the door handle and all of the lockers just moved, and there was a whole passageway that led me somewhere else.
That's crazy,
cool.
Man.
It was cool as shit. But I went there and I was high as fuck. So the first hour, I was like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Clearly, these teenagers are on a mission for something, but I don't know what thread they're following, and I can't find it. So I'm just going to keep walking around. But I was there for like 3.5 hours, and I only left because I had work shit to do. Like I'd go meet my work friends or whatever.
3.5 hours is a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, I could have stayed there longer. Like,
really?
Dude. Yeah. It was
the punk rock museum was like right around the corner.
Jesus Christ, what am I missing out on here? I can't because
honestly,
of my job. But man,
I think the place is. It felt
We're
like
done, right?
yeah, we're
yeah, it felt
Okay.
like being in like an open world video game.
huh?
Where there's just like you can just
There's
walk
quests.
around and see cool shit, and there's like side quests that you can do, and there's all sorts of
Jason,
other
don't
shit.
upload, don't upload, don't upload, don't upload.
Thank you.
It's gonna fuck your shit up. Did you start to upload?
No, I'm typing a file name, John.
Oh, I thought you were because like your shit was getting weird. Your camera.
Oh, it probably just got bright because I pulled up a bright window.
Boo doo doo. Now we got fucking Mariah
But
Carey.
no, legit, I was like, started to plan how I could do a trip back with the kid because I was like, oh, he would love this. It feels like being in an interactive video game where you can just like choose your own adventure and do whatever you want. And the whole Omega Mart is like this like weird grocery store from another dimension where everything's kind of creepy and cool. And like half the shit you can actually buy if you want.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Been there a long time.
And then they have a cocktail bar in there, and the
Mhm.
cocktails were like the one I had was the Source, and it was like a purple sparkly cocktail, and then they served it with smoke at the bottom of the glass, like so they set the glass down, there's smoke floating in the little thing, and then they do like a little smoke in a bubble on the top, and then they do a little light and pop it. So it's like you get this little flash, and then there's like smoke that
Mhm.
falls over your drink. And then I had one called a apple juice, and it was like an apple, like kind of an apple teeny-ish cocktail, but it was like bigger. But it's that flavor profile. But it had that they called it like buzz button or whatever, but that powder that we did on the show.
Oh, I love buzz buttons.
Where it changed, and they had that on the out.
Oh,
So they took the apples and they dipped them in that powder that changed how your taste buds do register stuff.
Mhm.
So they're like, yeah, take a drink and then have a bite of the apple and then take a drink again. So you had this whole cool like sensory experience. It was really fun.
Hmm.
And it's inside of a whole place that has a bunch of other shit, like, you know, VR headset on a gyroscope machine, so it's like a virtual flying experience and like a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Mr. Kyle is in town. I take it Orange County-ish. He's going to Windsor
asking what we're
Browns on
doing this
Thursday.
weekend.
Thursday, I got work.
Yeah,
Same,
cannot
yeah,
go
I
to
work.
Orange County this week.
I have work.
How long are you going to be here, Kyle?
Kyle,
Shut the hell up, Kyle.
Kyle, bring me some whiskey, Kyle. Weds
Man,
to
this
weds.
Doppelbock's really good, man.
I know. I got to pick that up, man.
This is very Christmassy. And this is canned on 10/30. So it's pretty fresh.
I went to Gordon Ramsay's burger place in Vegas.
How was that?
Actually, it was fucking really good. I was
I
like,
would hope so.
it's a damn
You send
good
it back
burger.
and go, it's raw.
Did they insult you before they served you your food?
It's
No,
raw.
there's no shenanigans there. I do kind of want to go to the
Like you order
main
your
Gordon
food and they
Ramsay
just yell at
place
you?
because I know it's gimmicky, but like I really want to try the Gordon Ramsay beef Wellington.
Oh, the welly, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had like a proper beef Wellington. In fact, the French place that I went to, it was my first time having like some traditional. I had escargot in the traditional prep.
Yum.
Mm,
It was really good.
wow.
Yum.
It wasn't slimy like I've heard. It was just
No. It's like
But
shrimpish.
yeah. Shrimp is a very good
My
comparison.
dad likes
It's like land.
escargot.
I call it land shrimp.
Yeah. And
Is
then
that a Greek thing? Escargot?
French.
French? Okay.
Yeah.
Oui.
I was at a very, very French restaurant in the Paris casino. So I had a French 75 there. It was really good.
What's a French
That's-
75?
It's a Tom
champagne
Collins with
and-
champagne instead of
Yeah.
seltzer.
What's
Yeah,
a Tom Collins?
Gin and lemon juice.
So gin, lemon juice, and champagne.
Gin, lemon juice, simple syrup, and soda water is the normal recipe. And then you replace the soda water with champagne for a French 75.
It's named after the French World War One cannons that fired 75 millimeter mortars or missiles. whatever they're called.
It's pretty big.
Balls.
Big bullets.
And, so yeah, the drink is very heavy-handed. So you drink for 75, it's going to hit you like a cannonball.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Because you replaced all the water with alcohol. So
right, yeah.
Gordon Ramsay had a sticky toffee pudding ice cream sandwich. It's fucking amazing. Had a lot of good food.
Gordon Ramsay.
And I got work paid for a lot of it, so that was rad.
Did you do any gambling? Were you there?
No, I don't gamble, dude. The moment I lose $1 gambling, I'm like, I could have spent that $1 tipping a bartender to give me a beer.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
I lived there for, I think, 6 months, and I gambled maybe twice.
Yeah, I don't got gambling
brain
shit
at a like slot machine or playing.
Yeah,
mostly,
Vegas is dope, man. So
right,
there's
a lot of it.
The orb was cool as fuck.
Yeah,
I think it's the
orb is
sphere,
dope,
but the orb is cool as fuck.
A lot of my gambling was video poker machines, where like they have them built into like the bar top. At,
yeah.
like, shitty dive bars.
That feels like the saddest way to gamble.
Well, it's fun though. Like you know, you're playing
Except
poker.
for the sad part. I guess it's like the alternative is just sitting at that bar at your phone.
I guess, yeah.
I was
kind of the
at
equivalent,
Atomic
right?
Liquors, and a dude in a full on, like a dude that looked like he was in his 40s, late 40s, maybe 50, but punk dude with like fucking like not a full mohawk, but like the head was shaved into the mohawk and like a full fucking battle jacket and everything, spikes and everything, showed up, and then he just started smoking at the bar. I'm like, oh yeah, you can fucking smoke at bars here.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So let's
also
see.
People still smoke.
I started smoking
like,
in Las Vegas. That's how I started smoking.
That area in Vegas is Able Baker Brewing is probably the best Vegas brewery in my opinion.
They were on the agenda, but I didn't make it because
they're cool.
We were having too much fun at Silver Stamp.
It's a really good lunch spot, honestly. So they do they have a kitchen and shit.
I went to Yukon Pizza, which is apparently owned by a something awful guy.
Oh, really?
And I mentioned it. I was like, the guy next to me clearly was there like all the time. And I was like, first time here? And he's like, haha. And they're like, no, we have his picture in the back. And then like the lady cooking the pizzas was like a clown on her spare time. And she had like rainbow colored hair. And then the guy, the regular was like, oh yeah, my wife made some clown art. And she's like, oh, I have this cool clown art for you. And she like saved it. And I was like, you know what? I'm neutral on clowns, but I appreciate there's some pro clown people because clowns got a lot of haters out there, you know, like, and they don't feel like they deserve as many haters as they got.
So here's a little area.
Yeah, Yukon Pizza. They were really good. It's New York slice.
Able Baker's down there. There's Silver Stamp is right here. So it's right around the corner from Able Baker. And these two breweries I'm not sure about.
Yukon Pizza's right near there too.
Hop Nuts and Craft House Brewery. So there's like 5 or 6 breweries right in that walkable area. And then
what I was told is don't walk it at night.
Yeah, here's the Punk Rock Museum right here. So if you want to hit that, Silver Stamp and the Punk Rock Museum and Area 15, they're all around this area.
So I just got a message from Daniel Cady.
Oh yeah, how's he doing?
Well, he said, next time you want to come to San Diego, you should get 4B together and we could do a live recording at Tap Room. We can gather a couple of homies to do a panel.
His beers are good, dude.
And he said, I'll never forget the Manzanita Miracle Berries night. That was some wild stuff.
Dude, what a weird fucking
we'll never forget that as well.
We were just talking about the
buzz
Miracle
button.
Berry. Yeah, the same shit.
Yeah, he this was at 3:30 that he hit me up.
Oh, so it wasn't while I was talking about it on the show?
Maybe. I have Do Not Disturb turned on my Mac, so I didn't get the text. So
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd be
let's see. My other Vegas spot is Herbs and Rye. Herbs and Rye is a one of the best cocktail bars in Vegas, in my opinion. And if you go there right at 5 o'clock, there's a line around the corner because if you sit at the bar, it's happy hour, no matter what. And their cocktail menu goes from like each page is like an era, so it's like 1800s cocktails. You flip a page, it goes to 1920s cocktails, 1930s cocktails. I love that. It's
Dude,
a
most
old school
Vegas bars,
steakhouse.
their whole cocktail menu is an era, and it's 1990s cocktails.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting at the bar, you get happy hour prices. but if
Happy
you're
hour all
sitting at
night. Yeah.
Table,
Bro,
you get no happy hour prices.
The
Correct.
cocktails on the strip
Huh.
are all like so sugary, overly sweet. Like all the big bars in Vegas, everything was just like so much fucking sugar poured into a drink.
Let's see. Oops, what happened? The other one is Velveteen Rabbit cocktail bar. This place is incredible. I don't know what they have beer wise, but you're just there for the drinks. If you could tell by how many fucking bitters they have just laying around, and that's in the arts district as well. Sort of like, yeah, I know, got a little slurring happening.
Wow, look at that! Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a dope bar. Yeah,
that looks cool as hell.
Yeah, Velveteen Rabbit right there, and then Atomics. Atomics is like Atomics Liquors. Where you at? Atomic Liquors. It's oh my God, 2,000 photos. Yeah, you could just light up a ciggy at the bar.
The whole underbar
in there, dude.
Like
fucking Anthony Bourdain sitting at
the
bar.
whole underbar is like plush, like a fabric. And so I push my knee. I'm like, what is my knee going into that soft? And it's like, oh, it's the underbar is like, and it was a dive bar. But I will say this:
Did you have Underberg there?
it had all the trappings of a dive bar, but it was clean. Like the bathroom was clean, the bar was clean, the like fabric of the the underbar area was clean. They have a working cigarette machine. It's on the left there.
Yeah. And here's the story of it right here too, of like how they would sit on the roof and watch the atomic nuclear testing in the area.
Huh.
That's how it got its name.
Interesting.
The hell?
Yeah, they got like a little atomic bomb cloud in the corner. That's like on this photo, that cloud is right next to the PKG sign or whatever.
Yeah, big outdoor scene too at night. Cool stuff, yeah. Let's go, man.
4 Brewers do Vegas.
Well, three out of 4.
Well, if we're traveling, we might get a 4th.
I think Tim's wife has family in Vegas, so he might actually go if we hit him up. I can send him a text because he's pretty much non-existent in our Discord chat.
Yeah. I think he muted it.
Yeah, totally.
I think he did too. Yeah.
So we're looking for a 4th brewer. If anybody knows an extra brewer,
email us.
I wouldn't say we're looking for a 4th brewer.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You know,
Greg's looking for.
We might change the name. Just 3 brewers. We're just downsizing.
No, it's going to be 4 brewers. Even if I go solo, it's just going to be 4 brewers.
Honestly, if we rebrand, just 4B.
Yeah, 4B. That's
4 butts.
Yeah, 4 beers, 4 booze,
4 boobs,
4 bramblers.
Yeah, 4 boobs, 4 bramblers,
4 buttholes.
Yeah, 4B. It can be anything.
Buttholes.
We just take the 4B brand, it's like how music television became just MTV.
They don't play music anymore. It's just
and we won't do beer anymore. We're just gonna talk about cocktail bars.
Turn into a political podcast.
Oh God, yeah, that's how you make it in the world.
Yeah, that's what the world needs.
More
political talk.
Yeah, we'll make a lot of money if we
Hot
start
takes.
talking about fucking being vaccine injured.
Conspiracy theories.
MAGA. Trump won.
Joe Brandon's vaccine stole my dick.
What?
Right. Do your own research, libtard.
And sub.
Joe Biden wants your penis.
Yeah, there's a back to the brewing world. There's a brewery in San Clemente called the Dog Park. Like PAWRK. Is that spelled? Park?
That's a brewery.
Oh, park.
The Dog Park.
Yeah.
It's not a park.
They opened 4 years ago, and they're closing this month, which is sad. It's a business, and there are people that are making beer or whatever.
I would
I've
never
been.
eat somewhere that was like
A dog
powerk. Because why would I go there? That's for dogs. And I'm a man.
So they're closing, and all the comments are like, gotta thank Joe Bidenomics for that one, and Bidenomics strikes another business.
Yeah, right.
So
except the opposite's happening with the economy, where everything's kind of on the upswing right now.
I don't know. I'm like, I'm not going to reply to anything.
I think
like
interest rates are about to go down again.
Bidenomics, baby.
I don't know. I will say, I think the messaging of
hit a high.
Hey, I love the messaging where they're like, "Hey, everybody, I know you haven't gotten a raise in 3 years, and everything got triple as expensive." But all the metrics of how companies are doing are saying the economy is doing great. So why don't you guys shut up about the economy, because that's hurting Biden. That's what I keep reading on the internet. That's what everybody on Threads is posting. And I'm like, no, people are like, I feel like I don't have any money and everything's expensive, because they do feel that way. And maybe the metrics that read how well the S&P 500 is going isn't really a good indicator of how people are doing. So the whole the economy is actually great under Biden. It's like, no person I know feels like they're financially better off than they were 3 years ago. Like I had huge raises in the last 3 years, and I'm like, cool, I can keep up with how much more expensive everything got.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't go to the grocery store for less than $150 for like a
$3 raise this year, and it's basically keeping me on par with everything that's going on.
Right, and it's like, yeah, all of our measures of the economy are how well corporate profits are doing, which by all accounts are doing fucking great. But that's not how
it's not trickle down economics anymore.
Yeah.
And now we're a political podcast.
That's right. We're fucking Pod Save America.
There you go.
No, Pod Save America would be telling everybody that if they complain that they don't have enough money, they're hurting Joe Brandon.
Talk about trans people. That's a hot topic.
Oh yeah,
fucking not
mutilation. What's the term that they use? I
don't know.
I think they say forced sterilization is the one they do, because all the Nazis that are really concerned with being anti-trans are like really concerned with the fact that a boy couldn't possibly sire children later if they transitioned. So they're all creepily obsessed with that. It's weird.
It is weird. All right,
on that note,
brew the shit out of it.
General rules. It's time to go. I know Kyle over here with $2.60 for gas, and we're double.
So apparently Kyle's going to be here from Wednesday to Wednesday. So Wednesday this week to Wednesday the following week.
Literally the worst possible time.
Yeah. Saturday I've got a thing with my wife's family I have to go to. Sunday is
Christmas
Eve.
It's Christmas Adam on the Saturday.
Dude, Christmas Eve on a Sunday, bullshit.
Yeah. I'm on call Christmas Day. But it's actually the best day to be on call for my job, because
everything else is closed too. Yeah.
So if someone calls something in on Christmas Day, there's some shit going down, and I don't mind taking that call.
There's people stuck in an elevator.
Yeah, it's cool.
Living it up, but I'm going down.
We have 8 paid holidays for.
Sorry.
We have 8 paid.
That should be a ringtone.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Just get the part at the very end where they do the harmony, where it's like, living it up, but I'm going down.
I've never fucked in an elevator. You think I should?
Probably should.
Yeah. So I could
I know a guy.
Do they have cameras in there?
I could be the meme. No. I mean, there's cameras in elevators, but you can see them.
I mean, you'd have to stop it, right? Or are you just talking about you're just gonna rabbit it out? You're just we got fucking about 30 seconds before this elevator gets to the 20th floor.
That's all I need. I have keys though. I could make it happen.
Just right on their thigh. Just you're like, look, man, I don't have time.
God. Right on their thigh.
Let's talk about any other ways John can get fired from his job. Please don't do that, John. Just like make an elevator room in your house. So it's like a cosplaying. You walk in, and it's got
all
like
you have to do
doors.
is make a closet, and you put some speakers in it, and maybe like something that vibrates it a little bit. And so you like go in the closet, and then it's like ding ding.
That sounds more complicated than
second
just
floor
going to an elevator.
I mean,
not all elevators have cameras. I don't know where you're getting that from.
I mean, I've seen watching
all of mine at work. I think too.
Always watching.
Can you see the camera, Greg?
I don't know. I always assume there's a camera.
It probably doesn't have one.
All right, I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna start pulling my dick out in every elevator I'm in, and let's see if I get in trouble.
Like, can I scratch my ass in the elevator? And I'm like, no, I'll wait till I get out in case there's a camera.
There's no cameras. I'm telling you.
Right.
If you're gonna see it, it's gonna be like a security camera, like mounted on the ceiling that's round. And
okay.
You know.
Hey, how does like a data cable that runs to an elevator work? Right, because it has to come.
It has to go up and down.
Right, so it's got to be
Wi-Fi.
like a kajillion miles long cable, or like that reels up, or is it like wireless? Like how do you get data to an elevator? Maybe that's why there's not cameras in all of them.
No, you can run a coax cable. It's called a traveling cable. So basically, it's a cable that can vary in diameter.
Dude, we got to have elevator talk podcast.
Hey, you're bringing it up. I'm gonna tell you.
No, I got elevator questions.
So it's a cable that is attached to the bottom of the elevator, and it runs to either a junction box in the hoistway or directly up to the controller in the roof or wherever the controller is. And it literally moves with the elevator. And there's a mathematical equation you got to do to make sure the loop is a certain diameter with the elevator. Otherwise, if it's too tight, it can break the wires inside. But the wires inside are actually laid out in a certain way where they oppose each other. So as it flexes, because you have a loop that goes under the elevator, right? And so as it flexes, those wires have hemp in between them, and they move with like it's a whole thing. Yeah.
Greg's doing an elevator shaft.
Yes, thank you.
It goes up and down.
Basically, it's a cable that moves with the elevator,
bottom,
which is very big. Yeah, they're not
top,
wireless at all. And as far as data goes,
I mean, you can run data through coax, not a decent amount of data.
Usually, data is run
with
through
the token ring network.
It's through a shielded pair, basically. And most modern elevators have CAN communication. And it runs through two wires that are in the shield.
But so it's literally just like a specialized like spool of wire that kind of spools and unspools as the car goes down.
It doesn't spool; it hangs off the bottom of the elevator, and it just as the elevator goes up, like it's got to be flexible, right? Because when you get to the bottom floor, it can't touch the pit.
Right.
The pit's usually 4 feet below the elevator. So as the elevator moves up, it just moves with the elevator.
Right. But it's got a reel in and out, right? Because it's moving.
No. So if you had a piece of string and you fixed it right here, and then you move it like this, like imagine a string, and
Oh, okay. So it's like attached at the side, like in the middle.
Well, it's attached.
Ish.
Okay, just imagine it's at the top of the hoistway. This is the elevator. And it's mounted under the elevator. It just moves. So if you have a piece of string in your hands, like between my two fingers, that little loop that would happen if I had a piece of string, which I don't have, it would. That's how a traveling cable is. It's just a cable.
And I imagine there's some sort of like mechanism that keeps it from just being slack, right? It spools up or something.
No, it's very simple. It's just it's literally just hanging, and the elevator moves, and it moves with the elevator. It's there's nothing to it.
How's that work on like a 20-story building though?
Same way.
Like there's like one cable that's like 1,000 feet long going to the top,
Yeah.
Huh.
And then they just make it long enough to go from the bottom
So
to the
there's
top. And
some
like,
there's different means of attaching it. So you can use what's called a killam grip, which is basically like a Chinese finger trap kind of thing that wraps around the outside of the cable. But that's only good up to, I think code says 100 feet of rise. And then if you go higher than that, there's a steel cable in the middle of the traveling cable that you have to basically take the insulation off the cable and remove the wiring. And you take that cable, and it's like an aircraft cable kind of thing. You attach that to the bottom of the elevator, and that moves with the elevator. It's very simple. I mean, it's not simple to attach.
Why wouldn't you use wireless though? Good God.
It's impossible. It's
because
so
you're in
unreal.
a giant Faraday cage.
No, because there's so many safety
No doubt.
mechanisms involved. The fact that we can do everything, like my company's hydraulic elevators run off of a traveling cable that uses 7 wires, and those 7 wires are basically for the discrete safety circuits. Everything else is through CAN communication through a shielded pair. So it's a computer talking to another computer. It's circuit boards talking to each other, basically. So you have to have a physical means of safety mechanism, electrically speaking. Wireless would be wholly unreal. Elevators will never be wireless. Never.
And the Wi-Fi doesn't even work in there.
You could technically install a Wi-Fi access point.
But in general, the Wi-Fi sucks in the elevator.
Yeah, well, you're surrounded by metal. So
yeah, you're in a giant Faraday cage.
Yeah, but yeah, the traveling cable though, it's very basic. It's just a bunch of wires attached to the bottom of the elevator that run into the bottom of the platform and into the operating panel that you push buttons on.
Living it up when I'm going down.
I actually had to do renew my state license, and I finished yesterday. Actually, there's like an 8-hour course we have to do, which my union, fucking unions, man, they negotiated this thing with the company where it's like, okay, if they have to do this continuing education course, we want them to get paid. So if I do this 8-hour course online, I get a check mailed to me for 8 hours of my
that's cool.
hourly pay, which is fucking awesome. But I got paid to renew my state license, and it costs like $140 to renew the license, but I'm getting paid like triple that, if not more. But it's called NEEP, the National Elevator Industry Educational Program, and they spent the last decade like crafting this online education thing where they have this like 3D interface for different tutorials. And it's so accurate, like it blew me away. I was like, I cannot believe we actually pulled this off. Like it shows you in a machine room, and when you go in a machine room, it's got drywall on the walls, but they don't paint the walls or texture the walls because you don't have to. It's just an equipment room. So you see like the tape lines from where they taped the screws over and put the drywall stuff on the walls and to cover, like it's so accurate. And even like the little mechanisms for the different parts of the elevator equipment, they're just dead on accurate. It's fucking amazing. But I think they get $10 an hour or something from every employee that's employed in the elevator industry to go towards this educational program. And they're using that money. It's really good. I was surprised. I actually learned something yesterday when I was doing this training, which I didn't think because I've been in so long. But
John's in the elevator business.
Tangents.
No, I'm here for it. This is fun.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to see like an elevator, I can get you on top and show you underneath, and it's
can we like
cool to
hold
see.
one up by the cable like Spider-Man?
No.
All right.
No. Actually, I think I brought this up before. I did like a thing for Mashable where they had like movies, elevator movie things.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. Like, how could Spider-Man actually hold an elevator up by his web? I'm like, well,
you're actually in a video,
real.
right?
Huh?
You're actually in a video, right?
Yeah. You look on YouTube. That's
that
video is actually what inspired me to.
Oh, you wore a 4B shirt.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
What's happened?
Hold
the
up.
video on Mashable that I did about elevators.
Unmashable?
Yeah, remember Mashable?
Hold up.
Yeah, just play it on the stream, dude. But that video is, when I saw that video come out, I was like, I got to lose weight. And that's what inspired me to lose weight. No audio.
What's with the blood?
It's The Shining, dude.
Oh.
There's no audio, Jason.
Can you guys hear the audio?
There's no audio.
No. There's a checkbox to screen sharing.
Like that.
Yeah, when you do share screen, there's a checkbox.
I think you can only get audio on the full. I can hear the audio. It's confusing now.
Yeah, so go unshare and then reshare it. There's like a slider box that you check.
Let's try.
In StreamYard.
StreamYard, yeah. So present
them.
Share screen. And then there's also share tab audio.
Oh, there you go. Huh. The fuck? Oh, I went to the wrong tab.
He tells the truth.
Here's Johnny.
There's a very famous elevator moment in The Shining where a bunch of blood comes rushing out of the elevator. Do you have any idea, like, roughly how much liquid could an elevator realistically hold?
Liquid inside of the elevator itself, probably around 2,000 gallons. But in that movie, the blood's coming out of the hoistway, not necessarily the elevator.
What exactly is the hoistway?
So the hoistway is where the elevator travels.
Where'd you film this?
You have the building, and you have different
in Culver
floors of the
City.
building, and all the elevator
Nice.
it's a vehicle
At their
that
studio.
takes you through the hoistway to the different floors.
Let's talk about Spider-Man Homecoming, one of the big blockbusters of summer 2017. There's that really huge scene with the elevator. Basically, he has to hoist the elevator up, not hoist away, but hoist the elevator
what I wanna
up with
do.
his web.
Yeah.
How strong would his web have to be to actually be able to hold up an elevator?
An elevator car basically weighs about as much as like a Prius.
That's actually lighter than I would have expected.
Not only is a web strong, Spider-Man himself is going to need to be pretty strong too.
They also rescue the students by going through the top of the elevator. They pull them out through that opening, that hatch at the top. Is that realistically the way that you would do an extraction, I guess, if you had people trapped inside of an elevator?
Yeah, it's called the escape hatch. It has to be a certain size by code to allow people to go through it. And that's primarily what it's there for, is to rescue people in case you can't get them out of the elevator.
Did you get any harassment from
If you
big
don't
elevator?
see one in an elevator,
after
it's
filming
because
this?
there's a drop ceiling.
I am big
There's
elevator.
part of that canopy that's also removable from the top.
How easy is it to actually become
This is
stuck
like
in an elevator
record or
shaft?
digital
Getting
now.
out of a hoistway is not difficult. It's easy to open them from the inside, very difficult to open them from the outside.
Like my business
In
manager
Mission
for my
Impossible,
union
there's a scene at the beginning where one of the
told me
team members
to
is on top
do
of the
this
elevator
video,
and he's
'cause they
hacking into the system and the
Mashable hit
elevator
him
starts
up,
moving, and then
and
as he
he's like,
gets to
"This
the
is for
top,
John.
these spikes
John,
come
just do
out
it."
and stab him in the eye, killing him. Is that something you guys do? You guys are putting spikes in elevator shafts?
Yeah, they come with spikes. When an elevator comes out, the first thing we install are the spikes at the top of the hoistway. No, this is ridiculous. One thing about elevators is that they are one of the safest things you can ride in. So the last thing you're going to find in an elevator hoistway are spikes that come down for no apparent reason.
So the good news is the likelihood of you getting stabbed in the eye while on top of an elevator
It was that
pretty low. There's
Mission
also a scene in
Impossible.
Mission Impossible where they hide underneath
the guy that
the
got
elevator.
stabbed, was
is
that,
something that you could
Wash?
realistically do?
Most every elevator has an
goddamn it.
area below it called the elevator
I'm
pit.
blanking on
It
his
also
name.
has to have enough space for guys like us to be able to safely get out of the way of the elevator if we are working down there and something were to happen and it were to fall.
Oh, great.
In Willy Wonka, there's a lot of magical things, magical snacks and treats.
It's an elevator. It's a wonkavator. An elevator can only go up and down, but the wonkavator
John,
can go
do you have a
sideways and
certification in
slantways and long
wonkavators?
ways and
I do not.
backways
In
and
front
square ways and front ways and any other ways that you can think of.
Is it feasible to ever
Although
have an
my
elevator
company
that
makes
can move in
elevators that go
multiple
sideways.
directions?
There is an elevator right
Front ways?
now. It's called the multi-elevator, and it
Oh, here it
goes
is.
vertically and horizontally. It just makes for more efficiency in the building for moving people around.
Is that like
But
the
as far
Luxor
as the Willy
elevator that
Wonka
goes,
elevator
like,
is concerned,
diagonal?
yeah, that's Willy
that's
Wonka's magic.
that's a fucking shit show.
Let's talk about one of my
Tom,
personal
have you
favorite
seen the
movies,
Tom
Die
Scott video
Hard.
where he did
How
that
hard is
elevator
it
in
to
Europe that
pry
goes
open an
diagonal up with
elevator
the
like John
historic
McClane does in
building?
the first movie?
It's pretty difficult. I've actually worked in that building, so
Okay,
if you were to
Google
open
shake
one of
them
those doors,
presenting.
the elevator would stop electrically because it's a safety feature.
No.
Firefighters actually have things that allow them to force elevator doors open, but you pretty much have to destroy the door floor to get into the hoistway.
What you get a strike?
Speed. Also a classic movie, also a very famous elevator sequence. Dennis Hopper's character, the
I
bomber,
don't remember
he
the elevator
takes out the
sequence in
cables in the
Speed.
elevator
Oh, yeah.
to attack it.
This
Is that a
actually
realistic
accurate.
way to decommission an elevator?
I'm a
He did a pretty good job.
madman.
He
A
basically blows
madman.
up what I think are the shackles. You see the brakes engage and they're all sparking, and it takes kind of a long time for the elevator to stop. And at that point, the elevator is being held up by the safeties. He also has explosives attached to the safeties. So if you blow those up, you have a big box that's just falling down.
So Speed is essentially a how-to guide on how to accurately up an elevator.
Daddy.
Pretty accurate.
One thing I've always noticed is that the floor indicator lights are still working as the elevator is falling.
Depending on the elevator, it'll change if you just lower the elevator down, because the elevator has knowledge of where it is in the hoistway. That's how it knows where to stop. It's counting where it's at, and if it's in a free fall situation, totally, yeah.
If someone were to slide down an elevator cable and he or she was not Keanu Reeves, how well would that work out?
You can do it. This goes back into elevator lore that I heard about when I first got into the trade. Guys on construction sites way back in the day, this is not now. We have safety procedures. We are number one with safety. To go to lunch, they'd be at one floor and they'd run, jump into the hoistway, grab the ropes, go down to the top of the elevator, a few floors, get out and go get their lunch.
Pretty badass, honestly, the way you describe it. Let's talk about Final Destination and that crazy scene where someone gets decapitated by an elevator coming down.
Oh,
Could
you
that
seen
really
that, John?
happen, or are there more safety features in place to prevent that?
It's totally a thing that can happen. There's plenty of videos from other countries where this does happen. And it's usually because their standards for elevators are substandard. The elevator has no brain.
yep.
It doesn't think. All it knows is it has to move up and down. And if that's not there, it's gravity at that point.
That's going to do it for us today, but I want to thank our special guest, John Holzer. Where can people find you?
You can find me at John Holzer on Twitter. I also do a podcast called
R.I.P.
For Brewers.
Yeah.
Elevators and microbrewery.
Hell yeah.
He's a renaissance man.
Got that
Thanks so
bump?
much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for future episodes, and we will see you guys
We
next
really
time.
shot to the moon after this.
Realistic. I love it.
Yeah,
Cool.
That was cool. Yeah, like I said, they actually sent an email to my business manager for my union, and they're like, we want to make this video about movies and elevator scenes and stuff. And his name's Tony, my business manager. He's like, you're the first person I thought of. Like, this is you. Just do it. Cool. Thanks, man. So he was my dad's boss for a little while.
Could have had a bad bitch.
Grab another beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out and probably jam and get some food. I'm starving. I haven't eaten.
I had a bean and cheese burrito. The last 10 minutes of me being like, I'll be here in 10
That's all.
minutes.
I'm like slurring. I'm like,
Was me eating that burrito
already
because I'm
eaten
like,
food.
if I do this show on an empty stomach, I'm gonna be fucking obliterated. So.
Yeah, I had some ramen.
I had a Miguel's
So,
Junior bean and cheese burrito. It was great.
Oh, damn.
Oh, before you go,
Those-
I went to
those
the
make me
original
sleepy.
Del Taco and it fucking
Oh,
ruled.
dude, that's
It was like
honestly
remember
the best.
remember the best Del Taco you ever went to? It's that, but like one notch better.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's-
dude, yeah, the original one's always a stop.
Yeah, I
There's
stopped
two
there.
Del Tacos near me that are basically the same distance from each other. And the one on Scott, off of Scott, is
Better.
significantly worse than the one
Oh, okay.
on Newport because
Well, they've all gotten worse now, but yeah.
no, but they can vary store to store or restaurant to
Oh,
restaurant.
sure, yeah. I just feel like in general,
I go-
the bean has gotten worse.
When I interviewed the CEO of Del Taco like 2 months ago about the birria thing that they have going on now.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah. So I pretty much pass. I'll drive like past 2 Del Tacos to go to one that has really good food quality. And he's like, yeah, we're just a franchise. They can do what they want. I'm like, you guys don't have any checks and
Standards?
balances for ones that are doing bad or whatever. He's like, no, we can't control it. So I'm like, that sucks.
Well, and again, ever since Jack in the Box bought him out, dude, discontinuing the spicy Jack quesadilla. How hard is
Jason
it to
will
have a
die on this hill.
no?
Yeah.
You know what? You know who still has the spicy Jack quesadilla is Barstow, and they have good chicken in it. If you get the
Yeah,
chicken,
yeah.
it's actually
is
like
good.
really good chicken, and it's like perfectly toasted, and it's like, hell yeah! It still is seasoned exactly like the Jack quesadilla you remember, although it's a little bit spicier, I think.
So from what I
But-
know about the birria tacos, they're like
I
they're
didn't even fuck
fried,
with
but
that.
they're also the tortillas are coated in the sauce as well.
Yeah, they dip them in the sauce, and
So are they doing that? At
there's a
Del
lime
Taco?
in them. What's that?
Are they, so they're dipping it in the sauce and frying them. Like that's what you're getting.
No,
with the
they
taco?
yeah, no, I don't know. It's
No,
like a
you're probably
normal-
just getting birria meat with a crispy taco shell.
Okay.
It's a soft
I haven't had
taco.
it, but
They're really good. I think
if
it's
you
fine.
get birria tacos at like El Pollo Loco, which I've done, the tortillas aren't cooked in the consomme, which they should be, but they're
Okay.
not. But they do have the dip and they have the birria meat, which is good.
So is
but-
that sauce more of a like smoky chipotle sauce or
It's more
like
soupy.
an enchilada red sauce?
Like
Yeah,
normal birria is sort of like this consomme that has like the meat drippings that go down.
Right.
It's like an au jus, sort of like really unctuous.
It's
And there's Del Taco
savory,
ones.
peppery sauce. Like there's a lot of like I made birria, like authentic style birria where I like I rehydrated the dried peppers and I blended it up and mixed it in, and that's what gives it that red color
But
and the
what
flavor.
peppers?
You're getting like
Guajillo.
dried like guajillo and it's mostly guajillo peppers. I think there was a couple others, but it's
Are
mostly
guajillo
guajillo.
peppers?
Yeah, it should be
Guajillo,
really hot.
pasillas. Yeah, it's pepper flavor, not heat as much.
But I'm
But-
talking about smoke. How's the smokiness? Like because
There's not a lot
chipotle
of
peppers
smoke.
come off smoky.
It's not really smoky.
No,
Okay, good. All right. Because I want to make
But-
some, but
'cause
Yvonne
you
doesn't
take-
like smoky sauce.
you take the
so-
dried peppers and you rehydrate them. You like literally boil them,
Uh-huh.
and then you mix the rehydrated peppers with a little bit of that water, and you blend them up, and that's where you get that dark red color.
Mm.
And you mix that in with, you're basically cooking a bunch of different meat. A big key is bones, having bones in there, like some sort of like short rib or something.
Yep.
Because the collagen released by the bones kind of gives the sauce its texture. But the peppers are what gives it the color. And then you have onions and carrots and other stuff in there. In mine, the onions and carrots got super
Little garlic.
soft, and they're like, you can remove it or you can leave it in. And I left them in, and like the really soft stewed carrots, like mixed in with the beef, were actually really good.
Super good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. There's nothing like it.
But it did mist my entire kitchen with red.
Oh no.
When I did the birria, like
All the
it
fat.
It filled
You don't have
a stock pot I had to the very top, and it was just like, yeah, it just misted my kitchen.
You gotta cook that shit outside.
right?
Throw it on the
Well,
homebrew.
Obviously, I wouldn't be making it with meat, and I've seen recipes online for vegan.
I think
versions
Del
of it,
Del
but-
Taco's birria, the consomme is vegetarian. I don't think there's meat in it.
Well, there's
and
meat in the
soupy.
tacos themselves, but
Right. But if you get a veggie version, I don't think it's meaty.
okay.
It's not like you feel greasy
So
after eating it.
meaty.
Yeah. I'm gonna jam, boys.
Did you guys ever
Yeah.
watch The Soup 10 years ago?
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so meaty.
This is the soup.
All right, cheese, bro.
All right, guys.
Yep. We'll see you guys.
Till the next
Later.
episode.
Yeah, y'all.